Yeah, I mean, you know, with where my record is at, 43-24, boy, it's just something that I should be proud of. I mean, I want to be proud of what I've accomplished in my shoot-around season, itself. On top of, let's say if I had the life that I had let me just go back a couple years when it was 2023, when I actually started my shoot-around game system, to where it became wins and losses, right? The fact that now, like, having gone this far for me as a shot maker myself, like a hooper. Heck, I mean, if I were to go against some of these guys now, like some of the familiar foes, obviously I talked about Russ, and the fact that he's owned me as a primary defender, or opponent rather, and then Neil and Carlos and Abbas, like guys like them with the record I have, like overall being 1-7, that can definitely improve. As long as I'm using the same ball that I've been using, to where I'm literally dominating, and especially with my efficiency just going up. I just feel like my efficiency has just gone up, especially on the mid-range side. So this is something I really need to celebrate, right? With my record for this shoot-around season in particular, being better than it was last season, being better, in terms of not having to use any second chance ults and makeup games, man. This is something I should be proud of. But the thing is, it's like it's only one side. It's only one thing I can be proud of. I mean, I can only have that temporary, celebration, like temporary joy and happiness, for this in particular. While on the other hand, the other side of my life that I'm dealing with is just full of darkness still. It's the same darkness I've been trying to fight off of. Yes, I'm doing the right things that my therapist has told me, right? Especially, most notably, reconnecting with some of my friends. Even Julio was very proud, saying that, I reconnected with Robbie. I guess, I don't know if he saw my video. I don't know if he subbed to me still, but just minutes after I dropped that video on the breaking news, I don't know if he saw or Robbie just told him, but either way, he was proud. You know what I'm saying? As far as that side of my life goes, I mean, I'm still struggling with it. I'm still having anxiety issues, and I'm really still feeling some anxiety, and especially with what the future holds, especially these next coming days. A lot of it's just going to be big, and in many ways it's good, right? But for my sake, it's gonna be a lot. No, you trust me when I say it's gonna be a lot. Like when it comes to what the next few days are gonna be, because this is something big that I'm gonna have to prepare for, right? I don't really want to get into so many details. Like I'd rather just keep it to on my perspective, where I'm gonna have to prepare for more responsibility to come. I mean, this is how far as to where my life is at, and especially with after so many mess ups from the past, couple of months and all that. And look, I get what my therapist is saying, and I mean, he's not wrong if you're thinking about like the human aspect of how to handle certain people and all that, and the fault the fault matter, and how it should be viewed, and in certain ways how to deal with like certain people like that, and not having to always put up with. I get all that. But for me, it just was not a big deal back in the day. It just wasn't. Like, even if I was criticized like that, I didn't take it as, I mean, I may have been pretty sensitive about it, but at least it wasn't like I was becoming very anxious to where all of a sudden, like, this mistake is a huge deal, and that's something that I'm going to end up having to work on. It's some, what do you call that? It's like I don't know. I don't know what you call it, but my therapist is going to work on this thing, like, where I got to learn, different steps on how to control, myself, and not having to put so much blame on myself or some stuff like that, right? But yeah, for the most part, it's like, I didn't think I would go down this badly as far as like where my mess ups have been, because it was never like this in the past. Now, having to reconnect with some of my friends right now, it's like, look, man, I still have some rust, and what I mean when I say rust is that even reconnecting with some of my friends, it's not bringing me back to where I was in my friend circle. Like I'm not having to deal with so much anxiety that some mistakes I make is just not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I know when I would have more confidence and self-confidence, and especially just being myself and all that, not having to worry so much about what it's like at home and what it's like elsewhere or at work and all that. And now all of a sudden it's like, I mean, who knows at this point if me having avoided my entire circle, shutting down my entire circle was just a major problem as to why I lost all this confidence, because I myself thought I would have been able to, that I would have been able to cope with this and tell myself, you know what, I'm going to get a new job soon. That's what I said. Yes, I've been really competitive on the job hunting and all that. Haven't done it as much as of late. I know I should, but I just been doing a lot of catch up on my basketball shoot-around videos from last year. I want to get to all of them for this year, because boy, oh boy, this record I have right now, this season, whoo, man, just an unbelievable season, man. I just feel like with all these wins I'm having since April, I almost feel like the Golden State Warriors team that was like the 73-9 Warriors, or even like the KD led Warriors and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, kind of like in that sense, especially now, it's like I've been like a lot of my big wins are just been coming from making threes, like big threes, like late down the stretch, or when I needed to make those threes, the threes that matter. You know what I'm saying? So look, man. I mean, I still got to deal with this other side of my life, and like I said, it's still going to take a while. I can't really sit up here and comfortably tell myself, okay, well, yeah, my therapist is proud of me because I've done all these. It's not happening like that overnight, because it's a thing I gotta get. I gotta get, what's the right word? Like, it's just something that I gotta continue, building or rebuilding, or just with this process of just to make myself a better person in general, because of the fact that I'm getting mental help, right? So that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm not saying that I want to be having these same episodes again where I'm going out of control and all that, but I'm just saying, like, even though my therapist is proud of what I've done for the past week, I mean, the fact that I'm seeing him every single once a week, it's he has to see all of my progress. So the progress is just more of a build-up. Like, despite what good things I've done in the past week, you know, it's still got to continue. I can't say, oh, I'm done and I'm going to get better. I'm already a better person. It ain't going to happen like that, because, you know, I'm still in the experimental mode, which means I know that I got to continue building up on where I was from last week, and even, you know, this week as well, you know? So I got to continue doing what I'm doing, especially when it comes to my education. Obviously, I know I have to improve my career as a graphic designer. I know it's going to get pretty tedious when as I'm continuing to learn more about UX and UI design, and learning the differences between the two. So it is going to take a while as far as that, because I gotta be fully knowledgeable, and even just practicing some mock-ups, and, you know, the mock-ups for the UX design part, in that I'm going to be adding maybe a piece or two on my portfolio, you know, to better my chances of getting hired should I continue to want to work as a graphic designer. Now, obviously, everything that I've learned is just print. I mean, I have some knowledge on the digital side, but unfortunately, I don't, despite having taken only one website class with Mr. Chen Wang, you know, it's not enough. You know, I've learned Dreamweaver. I mean, Dreamweaver is probably well outdated, and, you know, with AI taking over, I mean, I got to start taking AI courses as well if I really want to continue doing graphic design. Now, again, I really don't want to look so much into the future, but at the same time, I need to do myself a favor and just try to leave as soon as possible. Because the fact of the matter is, if I'm still here for this long, I know I'm gonna get cooked, like mentally. Like, they just had Mr. Lee out there just bitching and moaning about me not putting the flyers on, you know, forgetting to put a flyer on the G Drive, and I've been there for 12 years, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on, dude. Like my coworker next to me just told me about it, and it's like he's complaining this and that. Why would you complain, dude? Why? I've been there for 12 years. But obviously, this is just his mentality. First of all, he doesn't want to retire, and two, he's out there just being a total dickhead himself, just being greedy and stubborn, and completely having trust issues on his employees and all that. It's why this company will never live up to its potential, as long as he's not willing to, you know, to adhere to any of the modern trends, like the company president is doing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, come on, man. This is where I'm at. This is where, yeah, and I'm sorry. Like, my workplace is just continues bringing me down like this, and it's gotten to where my life is at. And look, this trying to regain my ground / build up of a better person, it's gonna take a while. And I mean, I know I still got to be active on my job hunting, and once I do get some interviews, and I'm out of that place, you know what? Forget everything else. I got the new job, and I'm gonna be all good as soon as I get the new job. You know, forget what my darkness is. Forget all that happened, and all of a sudden my life immediately is gonna get better. That's where I want it to be. You know, regardless of what all the chaos I've been going through. You know, the minute I find out I get hired in this new job, you know, whatever it is, as long as I'm out of there, I'm going to be in peace again. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be mentally stronger. That's going to add to what I'm already learning through therapy and through the meds. You know, that's where I want to be. Like, I just want to find my happiness again. You know, through a new job. And when that happens, boy, my whole life is going to change for the better. Not when I'm still here, being completely distrusted by a company president that just complains that as if I don't ever know how to put flyers in a G drive, this like that. Man, get out of here with that. It just comes to that point where that's why I lost all objectivity for a company like that. That dude is a straight clown, and that's all he ever does. It's just bitch and moan about, you know, certain people not doing things his way, and you know, and even guys like myself and Ernie, you know, if we end up doing something wrong like that and he gets pissed off, it's because he makes these mistakes as if we don't know how to do our job. And that's, you know, that is exactly what Paula has told me, and Lisa. You know, the fact that a place like that can really get, you know, people under, you know, give a mental toll on people mentally. And that's where I'm at. That's why I have to get help. That's why I have to see a therapist. That's why I have to see a psychiatrist. I have to be having to be prescribed with meds. All of this could have been avoided if I was out of there a lot sooner. So, you know. But yeah, like that's I gotta deal with that, man. And I really gotta start really getting more and more and more active, like educationally. You know, as far as like improving my career. And yeah, I'm still gonna job hunt as I continue learning. I gotta multitask on that. So, but as far as my basketball shoot-around is concerned, man, it's like every time I win, I always think to myself, when am I gonna see a good life again? You know what I'm saying? And Mari's by my side. Mari is you know, Mari is present. She's talking to me. She and I are talking every single day. And you know, she's on Facebook, even though I'm not. And you know, she's trying to get me right back in the right direction. And through her presence, it's why I'm winning games, man. The record that shows right now, I think it's 100 and... When did I do that video? I think that was like last weekend or so, where I was 114 to 73. I think now it's 116 to 73. Boy, this record is just improved, and you know, it's just very good. You know, for the sake of her just being there, she's making the difference. She's making the difference in my basketball shoot-around. She's my lucky charm. That's my best friend, my lucky charm. She's done a whole lot, like, you know, to keep me afloat. Being the best friend that she is. Yeah, I can say she's my savior. You know, right now, I know it's so early to tell that my, you know, with my record as it is, it's only like, what, early June? But I can keep going like this, and hey, man, I'm making more threes. I feel like I made more already than I did last year. So, I mean, each time I keep winning, it's like, I ask myself, why can't my life get better already? Because these shoot-around games that I'm winning is not doing enough for me as far as, like, you know, to better my life in general. It's just not the case, man. So, like, I just gotta deal with a lot on the other side of my life. But my basketball shoot-around games right now, where it stands, I'm good. I'm for sure I'm gonna be qualified for the upcoming bird season tournament in September. Let's just see what happens from there on certain things. And you know what? You know, it's just right now. This is the one thing I gotta be proud of, because with Mari there, you know, things are working out right for me on my basketball shoot-around games. She is my cheerleader. She is my best friend. That's a supporter right there. So yeah, man. I gotta keep at it, or as long as she's around. And I just feel bad that, like, going back to last season, this is you know, this is what I've been having to deal with. You know, my outside life issues, despite the fact that I'm winning games. And it wasn't like that in 2023. Even though I've done so much more outside of the basketball court, and despite losing, and Mario was not even there, so I gotta work my way through so I can get a good balance. So, anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that, and y'all enjoy the rest of your day.